I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons first. Thank you so much to my Bibliospren, Biblio Howlers, and my Bibliomancers. It means a lot to me that you give me your extra support for my passion and hobby. Hi everyone, Patek here. Welcome to SFF Spotlight episode 32. There are many exciting news to be talked about today. From book news, special editions, Kickstarter projects, cover reveals, and noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. Yeah, there are a lot of very exciting news today. And just like usual, because we have more than 20 topics to spotlight today, I will just begin immediately. The first topic in today's video will be about the Dyson Sphere Science Fiction Writing Contest, hosted by SciFIdea. I know readers, aspiring writers, and science fiction writers watch my videos, and I'm here to inform you that this competition with a prize of $20,000 per award is going on right now. SciFIdea is a sci-fi brand launched in Singapore. The chief editor Tang Feng and senior managing editor Lin Sun aim to encourage and develop science fiction literature and help authors monetize their works. The contest is to write a 30,000 up to 100,000 words long sci-fi story revolving around Dyson Sphere. The contest itself will be judged by a very distinguished panel of judges. The judges of the competition include Qixin Liu, author of The Remembrance of Earth's Past Trilogy and The Wandering Earth, and more; Tang Feng, the first editor of Three Bodies Problem and The Wandering Earth; Michael Swanwick, 5-time Hugo Award winner; Robert G. Sawyer, winner of the Hugo, Nebula, and Aurora Awards; Derek Kunsken, Patrick Nelson Hayden, Neil Clark, Phoenix Alexander, Nancy Kress, and Lisa Groen-Trombi. There will be 10 SciFIdea awards with a prize of $20,000 for each award-winning work. Plus, there will be more benefits to this one. All award-winning works will be recommended to be published and adapted to other art forms or media, such as animation or movie. Some outstanding works will be translated into other languages and be showcased in foreign countries. And there will be referral prizes as well. To make a referral, the referred writer shall mention the referrer's name and email address in the email when submitting the work. If the referred writer finally wins the SciFIdea Awards, the referrer will win $1,000. August 31st will be the deadline for the submission, and yes, this writing contest is free to enter. Finalists will be announced on October 13th. I think this is a great opportunity for participants to showcase their talents and express their passion for science fiction literature. For those of you who are interested, I will leave the link to the writing contest and all the details in the description down below. And moving on to the next topic, this is finally news about Warformed Stormweaver. Yes, this is the sequel. Bryce O'Connor has mentioned that the title will be Fire and Song, and the word count is 310,000 words long. Probably, I think that's more or less similar to the first book, Iron Prince. Iron Prince is one of the most highly regarded progression science fantasy book on Amazon, and I think pretty much everywhere. And well, Bryce O'Connor has mentioned that the sequel, Fire and Song, will be released on Halloween 2023. Yes, on the 31st of October. I think this is right on time because I already plan to read Iron Prince within this year, most likely next month in the month of August. And the cover art, which looks absolutely badass and stunning, is once again done by Man-Sik Yang and designed by Sean King. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to read Iron Prince and eventually Fire and Song as well. And moving on to the next one, the nominees for the Hugo Awards have been announced, and there are plenty of great books and great series mentioned here. Some of them are my favorites, such as the Founder series by Robert Jackson Bennett, which consists of The Foundry Side, Shortfall, and then Locklands. The Founders Trilogy has been nominated for Best Fantasy Series, and also Legends and Lattes has been nominated as well. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. It is one of the nominees for the Best Novel, and I think that is a praise well deserved for Travis Baldree. And speaking of Legends and Lattes, let's move on to the next section of SFF Spotlight. It is time to talk about Kickstarter projects, and this one is something truly incredible. Yes, Trademark has announced they will be publishing and doing a Kickstarter campaign for the deluxe edition of Legends and Lattes. And take a look at this. This looks absolutely beautiful, just beautiful. I think this will become the best edition published by Trademark so far. I cannot say yet because I still don't have the Sword of Kaigen and also their sufficiently advanced magic, but this one has the potential to become the best that they have produced. I mean, take a look at that cover art. The cover art is done by Justin Gerard. Justin Gerard is an incredible artist. If you haven't checked out his portfolio, make sure to do it. He did a lot of amazing Tolkien fan art and also many other artworks. I love the distinct style and also the fantastical aspect in his illustrations. It's beautiful, and when I found out, I have known about this news for quite a while now, and when I found out that Justin is doing the illustration, the cover art, and I think interior artworks for the Legends and Lattes, I was just so excited. I cannot wait to see how this one will go. This will go absolutely well in my opinion. I predict it will go amazingly well. And the Kickstarter page is up now. It hasn't gone live yet, but make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign page. And moving on to the next one, this is again another book published by Raidmark Creative. As you can probably guess, Raidmark is, well, I love their projects. I think they are doing amazing things with self-published fantasy books and also self-published fantasy deluxe hardcover and special editions. I love what they're doing, and of course this is just a reminder that Neon Ghost Within by Daniel Greene, the Kickstarter campaign, is still going on right now. It has met all the stretch goals, and yeah, it's almost over. If you haven't got the book yet, I already got a copy of it, the prototype, and the prototype already looks beautiful with the cover art done by Zara Alfonso. And once again, Sean King is doing the design. Similar to Legends and Lattes, Sean King is doing the design as well. And if the prototype already looked this good, I can already imagine that the finished copy that is published to the Kickstarter campaign will look even better. I still haven't read the book yet, but I will make sure to read it as soon as I can. And I just want to say thank you so much to Daniel Greene and also Raidmark for sending me the prototype copy of Neon Ghost Within. And the next Kickstarter campaign to spotlight today will be for the Dark Prophet Saga by Zachary Pike. The first book is Orconomics, the second book is Son of a Leech, and the third and final book in the series is Dragon Fired. And yeah, the Kickstarter campaign will be for the deluxe hardcover edition for the Dark Prophet Saga for all three books. There will be interior artworks, there will be a new hardcover edition, and also there will be maps done by my favorite cartographer of all time, Francesca Beralt. I don't know how Zachary Pike managed to actually get her to do the map for Andarun, but well done. Well done. She is truly the best cartographer in fantasy, in my opinion. Fantasy and sci-fi. She has done a lot of Warhammer maps as well. For this one, the Kickstarter campaign has already been funded, but there are still plenty of stretch goals to meet. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Orconomics actually won the best fantasy novel in the SFF BO Award, and it is a novel that has often been recommended to those who love Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. And yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that I still haven't read Orconomics yet, because I love Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames so much. Still two more Kickstarter campaigns to spotlight today, and the next one will be for a new book published by Ta Wong. The title of this book is Climbing the Ranks, and it has been pitched as solo leveling mid Tower of God. I think this is such a crazy pitch, because these two are some of the most popular fantasy webtoon out there. Seriously, they are some of the most popular, and I love them both very much, both Solo Leveling and Tower of God. So I will make sure to check out this Kickstarter campaign if you love those two series as well. And finally, the last Kickstarter campaign to spotlight today will be for The Last Days of Old Sharakhai. This is the Kickstarter campaign for the final novella in the Shattered Sands series by Bradley Beaulieu. I don't know how many of you are fans of the Song of the Shattered Sands here, but if you're a fan of the series, I think this is the final novel that will really close the Song of the Shattered Sands series. But unfortunately, the Kickstarter campaign, the physical book, is exclusive only to those who live in USA. So this is definitely not for me. But just letting you know, if you're a fan of the series, you might want to check this one out. So that's it for the topic of Kickstarter campaigns. Now let's move on to talk about special editions. I know that, well, Kickstarter campaigns are usually for special editions, but these are not part of Kickstarter campaigns. And the first one is the teaser. Yeah, this is the teaser for the frontispiece of The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, a Curious King edition. Yeah, this one is done by Tommy Arnold, and as you can probably see, this is the hands of Logan Nine Fingers, or the Bloody Nine. This is the frontispiece. It will be featured on the front page of The Blade Itself Curious King edition, and I think, well, It looks amazing. Tommy Arnold is one of my favorite artists, and I'm glad Curious King has finally shown one of the interior artworks of the blade itself, their edition of the blade itself, and I really cannot wait to see how the final product will turns out here. The owner of Curious King, Anthony, is such a great guy, and I know that he's a fan of epic fantasy and sci-fi. I know that he is passionate about this kind of projects, and well, I cannot see how it will turn out. I think it will turn out amazing. I have a feeling this will become one of my favorite, maybe even my favorite special editions. We will see when it arrives to my place. And for the next and final topic on special edition, this will be of course from the Broken Binding. And this is pretty much just news, but the Broken Binding has confirmed that their edition of Malazan, Book of the Fallen, each book in the series will have a different cover art. And I'm really excited about this. I don't know what kind of cover art we will get, but yeah, I'm excited because I do think that although the standard edition for Malazan, Book of the Fallen, although they have some good and some, well, a bit lacking cover art, they are quite iconic, but I want to see a different take, a different cover art to the special edition published by the Broken Binding. This is one of the goals of the Broken Binding, and I'm really happy they managed to nail it. And yeah, this is not part of any subscription of the Broken Binding, so I think it will be open to public and it will begin in summer 2024. So time to save up some money. Now let's move on to the next section of SFF Spotlight. Before we talk about cover reveals and novelty release, I would like to spotlight some things about a TV show, anime, and manhwa. And let's begin with the news that Ize Press is going to publish the physical copies of Omniscient Reader Viewpoint manhwa or webtoon. I think if you are someone who are caught up in reading manhwa and webtoon, I think you will know that Omniscient Reader Viewpoint is one of the most popular manhwa, one of the most highly praised and popular manhwa right now. And I'm still in the middle of reading this one. I'm enjoying it. I still don't think it's as good as Solo Leveling yet, but I don't know. I'm still quite early. I think I'm at chapter 35, but either way, I'm very excited about this because I know the quality of Yen Press and Ize Press publication for Solo Leveling. It will turn out amazing for Omniscient Reader Viewpoint as well. Cannot wait for it. And speaking of Omniscient Reader Viewpoint and Solo Leveling, well, there is a new trailer. The new anime trailer for Solo Leveling is out now, and I'm truly impressed with this one. Initially, I wasn't too impressed, even though I'm happy with the news that Solo Leveling is getting an anime adaptation. But initially, I wasn't too impressed with it. But it seems like they're doing some changes and improvement in this second trailer. We can finally see it, and now I'm so much more excited for the Solo Leveling anime adaptation. There were some rumors that the character's name and the location will be changed to Japanese names and located in Japan. But from the trailer, this updated trailer, I don't think that's the case. If they're going to change the characters and the location to Japanese names and Japan, there will be some changes, some big changes happening in the plotline. So I'm glad that they're sticking to the original here. So that's for the topic of manhwa and, well, manhwa to anime. Now let's talk about manga to anime. And let's just say that I'm very much looking forward to these two because the first one is Pluto. The new trailer for the anime adaptation of Pluto by Naoki Urasawa with Osamu Tezuka is out now, and it just looks even better. I mean, Monster, which I just finished rereading. I mean, the anime for that one is already good, but this one, it seems like they're going to take it to a new level. That's what I hope anyway from the trailer, and I love Pluto. Pluto, Monster, and 20th Century Boys are the best stories by Naoki Urasawa. It will be great to see Pluto anime adaptation doing well and bringing more readers to the manga. And of course, the next one is about Attack on Titan. I don't know which final this is, but this is, I think, truly the final one. Yeah, the poster and the teaser for the final season is out now, and yeah. Well, I think this is the end of an era. I can't believe that I've been watching Shingeki no Kyojin for, I think, a decade now. Yes, a decade, and it's going to be ending really soon. Yeah, the final episode will comes out in, I think, fall 2023. Not long from now. Only a few months. Last topic for anime, this will be for Delicious in Dungeon. Yeah, the anime adaptation for this one, or Dungeon Meshi in Japanese. The anime adaptation for this one has been confirmed and the trailer is out now. I haven't read this one, so I cannot say too much about this. but I think many people have mentioned that this is cooking myth, Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, there are a lot of praises going on for this manga right now. So hopefully I will get around to reading the manga or maybe watching the anime adaptation and end up enjoying it, because I do love cooking in manga and anime. I don't know why, sometimes cooking just turned out better in anime and they always make me hungry. And moving on to the topic of TV show adaptation, well, the trailer for Winter King by Bernard Cornwell. I know this is not fantasy, this is historical fiction, but a lot of fantasy readers do love reading the Warlord Chronicles trilogy by Bernard Cornwell, myself included. And yeah, the trailer for this one, the TV show adaptation, is out now, and for right now, I must say that I'm still not too convinced with this one. I have to watch the first episode, a few episodes, to see whether this has potential or not. But the Last Kingdom adaptation, the TV show adaptation for the Last Kingdom series by Bernard Cornwell was great, and I hope this one will be even better, because I do think, as far as book goes, the Warlord Chronicles is even better than the Last Kingdom book series. And finally, the last topic on TV show adaptation is regarding the Emmy Award, and House of the Dragon has received a nominee for Outstanding Drama Series. I think this is absolutely well deserved. I love House of the Dragons, and I don't know, hopefully this will win, but if not, it will remain one of my favorite TV shows, even though only one season is out so far. Now let's move on to the next section of SFF Spotlight. Time to talk about cover reveals. Let's start with self-published fantasy books first. I'm going to begin with a prequel novella to the Pillar of Peace trilogy by Tom Dumbrell, a series that I haven't read yet. The author probably is pissed with me already, but you know what? I have to mention this. And yeah, this is a prequel novella titled A Dagger in the Dark. Library of Viking really loved this series, and also there are plenty, although this is still a niche fan club, but there are plenty of loyal fans to the Pillar of Peace trilogy. And this prequel novella, A Dagger in the Dark, will come out on August 7, 2023. So less than a month from now. And the next cover reveal will be for The Sun Prince by Liam Schultz. This is the second book in the Bonds of Kin series, and this is the sequel to A King's Radiance, a fantasy series that is inspired by many things, and one of them is actually One Piece. You don't get to see a lot of epic fantasy series or novels inspired by One Piece, and I can't believe that I still haven't read A King's Radiance yet, but this cover art to The Sun Prince looks even better compared to the first book, in my opinion. The cover art is once again done by Brush 7, and yeah, it's so good. The cover art is so good, and I'm glad I got the chance and opportunity to do the cover reveal for this one. And yeah, the sequel will be out this year as well. And the next cover reveal will be, well, it will probably piss you off, or maybe you will feel excited, I have no idea, but for me, I feel a bit lukewarm on this. This will be for the cover art to Patrick Rothfuss' new novella. I'm kind of hesitant to mention new here because this is just a reimagining and expansion of an already existing novella called The Lightning Tree, which I loved. And initially, I was very excited about The Narrow Road Between Desires. The announcement made me excited, but after taking a look into the details and finding out that this is just an expansion of The Lightning Tree, I'm getting less excited now. I will still most likely read it, but well, I'm in no rush. The cover art is done by Adam Orba, and yeah, it will features the inside will features interior artworks by Nate Taylor. And let me know what you think about the cover art. Are you excited about this novella or not? And the last cover reveal will be for the UK edition of Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. This will be the fourth and the final book in the Skyward series, and I will be starting Skyward for the first time next month. This will officially be the first time I tackle Sanderson's YA novel. Hopefully, it will be a great reading experience, but I do love the cover art so much. Once again, the cover art is done by Sam Greene, who did almost all of Brandon Sanderson's UK cover art, and I love the uniformity, and in my opinion, this one looks better than the US counterpart. I hope that Defiant will provide a satisfying conclusion to the Skyward series, even though I haven't started reading this series yet. But Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors, and I hope his YA novels will be great as well. And still on the topic of Brandon Sanderson, now let's move on to the final section of SFF Spotlight. Time to talk about noteworthy release. And it is time to talk about Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I did a spoiler-free review of this one. Absolutely love this book. I think this is the best standalone novel by Brandon Sanderson so far, even better than Elantris or Warbreaker. Yeah, love this one very much. And the ebook, the Dragonsteel edition, the one that I read, is out now. Yes, you can officially buy the ebook on Amazon. There have been plenty of issues regarding the way Brandon Sanderson announced this one, because he has announced on his social media that the content of the box itself, even though many of us haven't received the copy yet. Personally, I don't actually mind this. Since the beginning of the Secret Projects, I always knew, with how connected I am to the internet and book community, I always knew it will be impossible for me to not know anything about the book before I read it. But it is important. What's important to me is not the title, it's not the cover art, but to see the content, to read the content, and also to see the interior illustrations myself. That's what's important to me. Title, cover art, none of this actually matters too much to me. I love seeing them. I look for them. So this is not an issue for me, but there have been a lot of fiasco regarding the titles. I received some hate messages regarding this topic. But you know what? That's probably a topic for another day. I will just say that it is sad though. It is sad that the Secret Projects do spark this kind of hate and anger in fantasy readers. I'm just sad to see that. But the book, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, is really good. I hope you will love it as much as I did. And the next noteworthy release to mention is again titled Defiant, but this time this is by Michael R. Miller. Yeah, this is the third book in the Songs of Chaos series. The first book is Ascendant, the second book is Unbound, and yes, the third book, which is out now, is called Defiant. I think the cover art just looks better and better as the series progresses, and I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that the series do also get better and better with each book. I already included Ascendant in one of my, I think, monthly TBR. It was probably in the month of May, but I couldn't get around to it because of my busy schedule. But it is one of my goals to actually start reading Songs of Chaos this year, hopefully until Defiant. So yeah, wish me luck on that, and I do hope I will end up loving it, because it is supposedly a Dragon Rider progression epic fantasy series, which I think sounds awesome. And then the next noteworthy release to spotlight is for my favorite fantasy debut of last year, Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty, the first book in the Rack of Rata series, which is again my favorite fantasy debut of last year, and also this is the traditionally published edition. It's finally out now. For those of you who keep asking me when you can read Sons of Darkness, you can do it now. The hardcover copy, the ebook copy is already out, and you will see me doing an interview celebrating this with Gaurav Mohanty on my channel really soon. I do highly recommend this if you love Malazan, Book of the Fallen, The First Law, and Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin. I think it is an incredible epic fantasy book, and I cannot wait to read the sequel whenever it's ready. Just two more released to spotlight today. The next one goes to The Traitor by Anthony Ryan. This is the third book in the Covenant of Steel series. I've read only the first book, The Pariah, which I highly enjoyed, and unfortunately I still haven't read the second book, The Martyr. But now, the third and the final book in the trilogy, The Traitor, is out now. Here's hoping that the second and third book will be even better than the first book, because although I always have a great time reading Anthony Ryan's book, I still think that he hasn't captured the ultimate brilliance of Bloodsong yet. But here's hoping that The Martyr or The Traitor will be as good as Bloodsong. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And finally, the last topic and the last noteworthy release to spotlight today will be for Ebony Gate by Julia V and Ken Babel. Yeah, this is the first book in a new series, and I heard this one has been pitched as John Wick meets Dragon Magic. Super incredible pitch, and I love John Wick, I love Dragon Magic, and I still haven't read this one even though I own an advanced reading copy of it for quite a while now. So hopefully this one will be a great Asian-inspired urban fantasy book or series. But yeah, the book is out now, so if you're interested, well, you can check it out now. And that's it. That's a wrap for SFF Spotlight episode 32. Do let me know what you think about the news, all the news that I spotlighted today. As always, I'm always thankful to all of you who keep watching my SFF Spotlight videos. SFF Spotlight is one of my favorite videos and also one of the most challenging videos to make, because there's always so many news happening every week, every 2 weeks especially. But they also always feel one of the most rewarding, because I know that many people benefit from watching SFF Spotlight. So yeah, I'm always happy to keep this running on my channel, and I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who keep tuning to this series of videos. Now, I think that's pretty much it from me today, and let me know what you think about the news I spotlighted today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.